Hey y'all, this is your girl with Street Talk. My name's Athena, and we out here with our guy Larry, asking some questions about why are women so masculine? Is it because they're single? Is it because they didn't have a dad in their life? What's really going on with the masculine energy with the women out here in Street Talk? And remember to share, like, and subscribe. This is Why Are You Single podcast. We have our guests on the show today. Larry. Welcome, Larry.
Hello. Thank you for having me. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing? You're
Tremendous.
here with us here at Why Are You Single podcast, and I'm going to just bring it. This podcast is basically about how you feel about masculinity in women,
Well,
that
that's like
energy.
that's an oxymoron because women are supposed to be soft and feminine. There shouldn't be any masculinity. I think one of the problems is that because if you look back in the '60s when they brought about the Section 8 things, like the government said, we'll give you a house, we'll give you everything you need, but you just can't have a man in the house. If you do, we'll take it all away from you. And I think it stems from there because prior to that, the black man was relevant in the household. Now it's set up to where they don't need you, or it's like the way I see things, a lot of times this masculinity in women comes from the fact that there's no repercussion for them for doing anything. You can pick up the phone. If I yell too loud, they can lie and say, I touched them, I'm going to jail. And unfortunately, because of this, they have to sit around and raise the kids on their own, and they're very angry. And if the man doesn't do what he says, you know what's going to happen. He's either going to jail or going to be on child support.
Well, you know what? I tend to kind of don't believe that if a woman gets because a man is not in the house or because of the police laws. I mean, what is it like? Men is running women or something? As you're saying?
I'm not saying that running. Everyone has to play their role. And
Right.
in the Bible, it says it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Man and woman are made to each other to complement each other and help each other. To be each other's support system. But once the woman has to do it on her own, it's being said that, oh, well, now they're being masculine. Because what happens, you have the educated women, they get the degrees, they get all this. I'm independent. I don't need a man. That's the attitude they have until, you know, I need a couch move to some shit. Then all of a sudden, hey, how you doing? I'm just a girl. Can you help me? But most of the time, I don't need you, nigga. I make my own money. I got my own car. What do you have? Does that
Yeah,
bring
I think that goes for some women, but most women that I'm talking about, this new age masculinity where they want to um, just be angry and mad and mannish, not the independent woman that steps into the role of being independent because she has children to raise and she has to make decisions, which generally the man does make the decisions for the household. I'm talking about that woman, the woman that's just masculine for no apparent reason at all, except for just to make that decision. What do you say about that?
Well, what are they angry about? Is it a situation that created? Maybe they had a man, but because they didn't want to listen and they want to be so masculine, they ran the man away because no one wants to sit around arguing all the doggone time. And speaking of the masculinity, it seemed like the agenda now in every commercial, every TV show is emasculating the black man. It's like it's called toxic masculinity if you speak like a man. Like I'm not doing that shit because what I remember coming up, my dad, my uncles, you know, they were all around and showed us how to work on cars and be, I don't know, fundamentally sound in sports and things that men do. We're protectors and providers, and the women are supposed to be the nurturers. But now they don't want to nurture anymore. They just want to, I don't know, just live their life. Because if you look at society today, what you got a grandmother, she's 34 years old. How the hell are you a grandmother at 34 years old? Your grandma's supposed to be old. You know what I mean? They still going to the club and they don't want they and they still having kids when they grown 20-some-year-old kids having kids. That's just crazy to me. So hopefully I'm not getting too far off track, but the angry
Yeah,
women, it's like,
we're gonna get back on track. You kind of moving into my next question is do you think that women that have men in their lives as a mate are more feminine?
sometimes because it seemed like the women want you not to be a man. They want you to be, you're supposed to be sensitive. You're supposed to, my needs, and you're supposed to listen to me and all these kind of things. But it's like, when can I be a man? It's only, I'm a man when it's convenient for you. Like I said before, to lift heavy shit or to take care of. You want us to protect and provide, but you want us to be soft as well. We can't do both. It's kind of difficult. Because if you want me to be sitting around cupcaking with you and talking soft to you, then I'm just like one of your girlfriends. And I'm not that. I'm your husband. I'm your man.
Okay, you kind of won on that one. Okay. All right. And how do you deal with the black woman in, when you're dating and you sense that type of energy that comes off masculine, but you really like her, but she just comes off a little bit too strong? Do you address her and ask her to tone it down? One question one, or do you say, you know what, I'm just not going to deal with this, uh, because to address it would help her,
Well,
okay,
I
as
tried
a
to.
black brother to a black sister, but to just walk away from it, she gonna keep in that energy and nobody's ever said anything. So it's two questions. Would you
Well,
address it?
of course I'm going to address it. That's the only way that you're going to get anything accomplished, by effective communication. I'm gonna come to you like, hey, I'm gonna need you to tone it down a little bit. You talking a little crazy to me because at the end of the day, it is the way we were brought up. Is you're not supposed to hit a woman, you're not supposed to touch a woman, but it just seems like they will continue to prod and poke you for 2 and 3 hours, talking crazy, hitting you, and if you walk away, they're calling you a bitch. But what you're trying to do is keep yourself out of trouble. So if it's a rational human being, yes, I'm going to address it and try to have the conversation. This is what I need from you. Stop this, stop that, whatever the case may be, and don't stop talking to me like I'm crazy. Because there are some people that are raised out there, they don't give a damn if you're male or female, they'll knock you upside the head. And I'm trying to keep myself out of that situation.
Understand it. So what black man do you say that just sees the energy and just walk away from it and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with that? What type of man is that? Is he soft, or he's just being manly, or he don't know how to communicate? What kind of man is that?
He is doing preventative maintenance. He's keeping himself from the bullshit. Because if you see, it's just like anything. Um, you're walking down the street, you see somebody talking to themselves, swinging at the air and everything. What do? You walk in the opposite direction. You don't want no parts of that nonsense. It's the same thing when you see, you just, as a man, you're supposed to observe things and take it in. You listen to the conversations, you observe how they interact with other people. And if you watch them long enough, you'll see that's going to eventually be you. And you have to make the decision, do you want that energy around you or not?
So I've noticed that there's a certain age group of a lot of masculine energy, and it's the younger people, probably between 20 and 30, that these girls are just rolling dice over these men. And then you got the 30s to the 50. Those are two different type of masculine energies, and I know that we're past that. The question I have is, um, the masculine energy that exists today, that's very popular, do you think that's why it's just a lot of people being single, men just like being single and want not to even deal with black women and go to another race?
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what race. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. At the end of the day, it's still a woman. You guys
Mm.
all run pretty much the same feelings. Of course, there's exceptions, but for the most part, it's always anytime you want to have a conversation, it's about some shit that the man has got to fix. It's never about you, what you got to fix. That energy that you're referring to, I think it's mixed up because now masculine is more feminine. It's okay to wear tight ass pants. It's okay to get your eyebrows arched. It's okay to be soft and not cuss and not know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's masculine. That's completely opposite what masculine is to me. And it seems like the women are taking on that role. You got these women dressing like men, they studs, or whatever the case may be. And it's just a mixed energy due to the times, the commercials, the product, everything that they're promoting on social media. It's okay to be soft as wet cotton. And, people in our age demographic weren't raised that way.
I understand it. We are definitely living in a new age. So as we kind of wrap this up, I'm gonna ask you, this is second to the last question. Does the absence of men, period, in a woman's life? I had another guest that talked about maybe a woman didn't have a man, a father, or a brother, or went through some other pain. Does that matter to a woman growing up being masculine? Do you think?
Abs- Absolutely, because what you got to understand is the father is the little girl's first love. That's the first man she's going to see in her life. See how he acts. That's how she's going to base what she's going to be looking for later on. So if the father is treating the mother well, if he's being the man, he's leading, he's working, he's not laying up on the couch, he's not hitting her mother, not because that's what she's going to be looking for. And just like if you're raising a girl or a boy, the father needs to be present because after a certain age, the mother can nurture and teach the boy something, but there are things that the man has to teach the boy to become a man. And in different cultures, like in African thing, like at a certain age, the father comes, gets the boy, and take him all the way away from the mother, so that he can teach them how to be a man. Now, women have tried. There's been some that done a great job as a single mother, but without that interaction, without being able to see, all they see is some dude come through, smash, and go on about his business. They think that's what they're supposed to do when they grow up. So they need a consistent presence, be it an uncle, an older brother, something that is doing masculine things.
Okay, so this is the last. Thank you for that. This is the last question. As we are still here at the Why Are You Single podcast. Remember to share, like, and comment because your voice is valid. And we want you to be able to tune in to our every Wednesday show too. The upcoming show is going to be about this masculine energy whole ladies panel. And Larry, this is the last question. Why are you still single?
You know what? I'm set in my ways. I've been married before, and it was just a situation where I try to have conversations, tell her what I need, and after a couple months, the shit doesn't change, and I have authority over myself. If it's something I don't want, I get the hell out. I've talked to you because with knowledge comes responsibility. If I've addressed it with you more than twice, and you're still not making any change, that lets me know one, you don't respect me, you don't give a damn about what I'm talking about, but you'll take all the money and all the amenities. Because to me, if you're just laying around the house and I'm providing, you're just a bill, like a child. I don't need a grown person to take care of. I can take care of myself. I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I know how to make my own money and make moves. I don't need you, but for one thing. So that's the reason why I'm single, because I don't want coming home being nagged about some horse shit that doesn't pertain to me, doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'll hear about your day, but if you're talking about things that's just something you should be talking to your girlfriend about, let's leave it there. Because you damn sure don't want to talk to me about me riding my motorcycle or anything masculine I'm doing, right? But I'm supposed to capitulate to your horse shit and listen to what you got to talk. Because if I don't, I'm not a good man, and that's toxic masculinity.
Well, you know what? To your point, I mean, you sound really I don't even know what the word is for it, but it's really mannish, which you should be. But I hear you saying me because you know what you want. But there's compromise in all different type of relationships. Even if you know what you want, if you're willing to compromise, get an understanding, I think that you don't have to waver in what you want, but it's not dictated to the woman if she don't be like you want her to be that you should stay single. That's what I think.
I'm not trying to dictate, but to me, if
You
I'm
just did.
having a no,
You
if I'm
just did.
explaining
If
to
she
you
don't listen to
how,
what I said and I tell her in 2 months and then she don't still change, that's dictation.
but what this the flip side of that. The first time she tells me, well, I don't like the way you do such and such, I have to change immediately. Because if I don't, I'm not a good man. But you guys don't have to do shit but sit around and whine and make sure that everything that happens to you is because of us. You guys
That's
don't take
not true. Not all
responsibility.
women are like that.
I know
All,
not all, but the
yeah.
majority, especially these new ones.
Okay. That's what you say. Well, good luck to you out there in here on today podcast. Why are you still single? We have Larry in the house, ladies. Larry, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all your answers.
You're
I
more than welcome.
All right. Have a good day. Remember to share, like, and comment. Your voice is valid, and we want to make sure that you do not miss another show. This is your girl here out in these streets, Athina, with the Street Talk, talking about this masculine energy. Peace out.